This will be part 3 of the Sears build. I have all the electrical done except for the lights because I cannot afford lights at the moment because they are the old glass lights. They want $15 a piece at Tractor Supply. Here is the inside. I got the shroud and everything back on. Carburetor's fixed. Fuel lines in. The side pieces on for the motor to be started by the generator. New belts on. And brackets on. Main brackets on down there. The regulator is on. All the fuel system has been put on, and the gas tank has been repainted tractor white. The brand new switch has been put in. It's the car switch, and I was wondering what them 2 holes was for down there. And I looked at the diagram on Sears.com. They said it was a safety switch. It's not a safety switch. It is a solenoid. Sears, I don't know why you said that. Or the people who put that on there. So what I did, instead of that one line going straight to the generator, which would fry it every time you put it on, I put the solenoid off my racing lawnmower on it. So, I also put the brand new belt on, put the pulley on. This bolt is coming out, the keyway's gonna be put back in. Every bolt on here is chrome. Every bolt's on the head's chrome and everything. It's the custom battery box I made. It's got 3 bolts that hold it on. The 3rd bolt holds the ground. This cable was coming off because it's way too long. That's the ground cable. I bought a brand new hot cable at Advance, but they didn't have the ground cable at Advance for some reason. This motor, when I tried to fire it up for the first time, a couple months, it kept backfiring off of a car battery. Car battery spins really fast on these motors. It just kept backfiring. So what it was, the spark plug was bad. Put a spark plug in, it hit first time. Then, after I ran it for a while, I noticed smoke started coming out through here, and it started bubbling oil through here. You can sort of see where it bubbled before. Right through there in the middle of the crack. The head gasket is blown. Had to find a head gasket for it. But I did put a brand new carburetor kit into it. Hooked the throttle cable up, hooked everything up. It will be another video of it running and driving, since I've already drove this thing around for about 2 hours. And just tuned it while I was driving it. Hooked everything up. This tractor's almost ready to go to a show. Next tractor show that I see it, I can take it to it. I'm taking it to it. But for now, it's just a show tractor around the house. Go out to the mailbox with it and stuff. So I noticed every time I drove by at the mailbox, people kept looking at me. Like, everybody stares at me when I drive these old lawnmowers around. But when you drive a brand new one, they don't look at you. I think it's pretty funny when they do stare at you. I think everything's about done on this thing. What I did right here is take that 90-degree nipple out, put the straight brass nipple in. Then I ran out to 3/8 line, or no, 1/4 inch inside line, and went into a 90-degree nipple so it wouldn't bend it, which make it harder to get fuel in. Then went straight through the shroud. Some people, for some reason, they think them holes are just there. They're supposed to go through the shroud. It's not supposed to be around it, because it'll look weird. That's what them holes are for. They go straight through it. And then I ran the line underneath it. This gas tank came off an older A-horse Briggs, the white ones from the 60s and 70s. Motor blowed up while I was tilling with it, so I used its mount. Only thing I did was cut that top lip off. It goes on the head, and then just welded it to the frame of the Sears, since I didn't have a battery box or a plate that went across or a gas tank. So I just did that. I used the chroma straps, and I sort of like this gas tank better than the round ones, because I don't think the round ones look weird on these. And I like this a little bit more because it has two shutoffs, one on the gas tank itself underneath there, if you can see it. Yeah, there it is. And then it's got this shutoff that I put on there, so I can reach behind here and shut it off, or I can reach it right there on the side and shut it off. There probably won't be a fuel filter on this thing, since I usually put really good fuel in mine. I always have the gas tanks cleaned out before I always have the gas cans put out before I put gas in gas tanks. I will be running octane booster in this engine, so it'll run smoother like it used to before they had this gas with ethanol in them. I use that STP gas treatment with this engine, and it seems to run really well with it before it started sputtering and stuff. But while I drove it around, it started smoking because the head gasket was going out. So I'm going to order a new head gasket this week and put into it. And that'll be it for the engine. The rest of it's pretty much done. I did put the piece for the side shroud mount back on, so I do have that side shroud. I also put brand new oil in the transmission. I use straight 40 weight, I used 20W40. So in the middle of winter, it'll still be good. It's a pain to get through that one piece. You have to take this whole fender off just to get in there, which my friend has put a well, here it is. I was going to show you all on this in the next video, but this is my ST16. He put this little what he did was he took that 90 degree that came out of the trans, went straight out about 6 inches, put it into a coupling, and put another 90 up. So the only thing you got to do is just take this off, and it comes right off. Then you fill it up with oil. I actually had to put a cord in it because I'd take the trans out for a minute and drain some of the oil out of it. You'll be seeing the ST16 in another video. How I did the hood, how I fixed the hood in it, fixed the carburetor, and fixed the fuel line and everything, and the deck. The only thing I really got to do about this one, put that side shroud piece back on, put its battery back on, and get a tube for that front tire. Thought about painting the rims white or rubberized coating black. Y'all can comment below if you think it should be white or rubberized coating black. I was thinking probably the black, but I want to see what everybody else thinks first. Then after it's all painted and stuff, I'm going to buff this hood out. I'm actually probably going to have this hood sent to my uncle's, where he'll do body work on it, because you can sort of see waves going across right there. I don't know if you can see it, that rolling wave right there. This whole front piece, for some reason on Sears Suburbans, they're always like rippled through here. People just leans on them for some damn reason. A fat guy just gets on front of it, just leans his ass up on it and bends it down. It's like, oh, did I do that? But we'll send it up there and get him to refix it. I used to have a chrome stripe that went straight down through here. I'm going to put that back on. But all I need to get now is the tube and another knob. Tube for that tire. And another knob for That one right down there. Came with one for some reason. Somebody put one of them stupid shifter things from tractor, from my Advance Auto on it. On that one. So I just put the regular one on that one. That came off of that one. So I gotta find another knob for that one down there. And I got JB weld this knob back on. It keeps wanting to fall out when you drive it. But everything works on it now. What I did to the steering wheel, where most people just cut them off and then re-weld that one piece back on, I found one of those, you go to Tractor Supply, you get them hitch pins. I think they're like 3/4 hitch pins. They slide into your tractor or into your piece of equipment that you're hooking up to your tractor. What I did is I cut the smooth piece off, beveled the ends on both sides after I cut the rod out, and welded it on. Put washers down into it, put actually shims down in there, and then washer up here, and then locked the steering wheel into place with the impact wrench. And also, underneath it, there is a bushing that goes in here. Sort of see where I screwed it up right there. I sort of melted the brass with the welder. What I did, the whole piece of pipe that goes through for this shaft, it may go up and down, but it don't wiggle side to side like it used to. It was swivel like this. This piece right here still needs to be fixed. It does do that. Go up and down. It makes it steer sloppy a little bit. But the inside of this was wore out. The piece of pipe was wore out inside. So all I did was take a washer, drill it out one more size up, put the bushing in. And then I put there's a little beveled piece on the end of the shaft. Actually, on the end of the shaft, it is built up more than the rest of the shaft. I took a bench grinder and grinded that piece on the end that is built up more. I'm grinding it down so it'll fit inside this bushing and slide down perfectly. And it actually moved it to where it's not on these bottom teeth anymore. It's on the top teeth like it's supposed to be. You can fix this with a shim up top, which I have to do. I need to get more shims because I gotta fix the front end where it slides back and forth. Sometimes it slides, but most of the time it don't. But I rubberized coated this whole thing, which I sort of liked. And if you do mess up in some spots, like that bubble right there, what I'm gonna do, like I did before, I just didn't sand it good enough. You sand it down on these rubberized coatings to make it blend in, then you take motor oil, and then you just swipe all around the whole section. Sort of see what I did before, but it'll smooth back into it after a long time. You just take motor oil because it turns the rubber white when you sand it for some reason. You get back here too, because this little piece, it's actually smooth. It looks rough, but it's actually smooth. There is a everybody, if you've seen Sears Suburbans, they got this deck bar that goes across and hooks up to the deck and other attachments. I gotta put that back on. I have it inside already painted, just haven't put it back on. I gotta put the toolbox back on. And then after I do that, tractor pretty much be done. I'll show you all the toolbox. It's rubberized coated, like it would look good. Then I have that. This is that cross piece I was talking about for the deck. I have the side piece. It goes on the belt guard for the starter. I just had to water sand it. I had one run in it, and then I'm gonna buff it out. There will be another video of a Sears original. I know I had a video of a Sears homemade 3-point hitch, but I have an original 3-point hitch that just needed to be put back together. Needed the two main arms that come down and the two arms that go out for the attachment to be hooked up on. I have the original centerpiece and the 4-bolt back plate that I bought for $40, which I think was pretty good because the original centerpieces are about $60 by themselves, and the back plates are about $40 by themselves. The 2 arms that came down, I made at my grandfather's house, which you all see in another video. Well, never mind, you'll see it now. Here's the back plate. And here's the 2 main arms. I have a picture online, 25-degree bend, 1/2-inch steel. Where rebar has these little grills, these little pieces that come out. Just took a bench grinder and grinded it smooth on the ends, drilled holes in it, put pins in it. And here is the original centerpiece. It is free. Hooked the PV blaster because it was free before when I first got it, and then I let it sit for a long time in the rain. Got rusted up, put PV blaster and a big crescent wrench on it, and it moved again. Only thing I gotta do now is build the bottom pins that come out. The bottom rod that come out that hooks into these, and then I'll probably put it on my 16 because it has a yellow center, and the 16 is the one that's mostly worked all the time. Because the 12 is mostly right now a show tractor. I'm sure in a couple of years it'll be a work tractor, just like the 16 is. Well, I'll see you all in my next video. Please subscribe and comment.